Coach, first spring game in the books. Great weather, great crowd. How'd you feel out there?
Yeah, it was great weather. I appreciate all the fans coming out and supporting our guys, and really proud of the whole body of work through spring practice. But today, they put on display, what we've talked about, our traits of excellence, effort, attitude, toughness, and discipline, competed. And so those things were really good. Great work so far. So we just have to continue working through the off season and getting ready for training camp and then the season coming up.
Coach Kosh said on the field that it was a bit of a vanilla offense by design today, but how did the unit look to you?
Yeah, I thought the one offense looked really well, really good. They scored every time they had the ball on every drive except one, coming out of the gates in the third quarter. So I thought they did a nice job moving the ball, scoring points, which was good to see. We kept it, base so that guys could play fast and we could evaluate what we've done. We didn't want them thinking too much, and I think the coaches have done a great job doing that. We've got to continue to clean up. We had too many penalties today. Did not turn the ball over until the end, the last play of the scrimmage. We threw kind of a ball up and had a turnover, but got to continue to clean up the mistakes.
I thought your guys' defense as a unit played pretty well today, got after the quarterback. Just your thoughts on their performance. I know Eric had an interception there at the end.
Yep.
Marshawn got to the quarterback a time there. How did you think that unit played overall today?
Yeah, I thought they competed and played really hard. Again, with the defense, just like we talked about with the offense, the one defense played really well. Really got after it when they were on the field. Got off the field on third downs and forced some havoc plays. Marshawn getting to the quarterback, which he's been one of our standouts, but they did an excellent job. So nice to see them come out with a sense of urgency. And I think what you saw today is what we've seen all spring, which is the competitiveness. It wasn't offense dominating, it wasn't just defense dominating. They both competed, and the best teams I've been on have gone back and forth.
Saw a lot of quarterbacks today. Sort of your assessment of all of them?
Yeah, so I think Coach Kosh has done an excellent job with that group. Look, when you install a new offensive system and there's a lot of learning and thinking and there's a process to the growth and the maturity, I think as a group they've done a nice job doing that. They've continued to get better each and every day, and they have been a competitive group. Really have. Taken some strides there. I think the big thing with that group that we have to continue to see is just more consistency. And Coach Kosh will tell you that. They've cleaned up some of their footwork and fundamentals, which they've worked on a ton. But we have to be consistent at that position, and they're the one. They touch the ball every single play.
Yeah, that's true. How about Salam had a nice 75-yard run there to start the scrimmage off, and a couple of good receptions by Joshawn Johnson, too. Your sort of assessment, too, looking at them?
Yeah, so I think that's another group that's been, really good. Oldie has had a great spring. He's kind of the veteran of the group, and he does everything, however you coach him, he's going to implement it. I mean, he's a guy that you love to coach because he's going to take the coaching and the teaching from the classroom to the field. He's a smart player, but I think all of those guys in that group, it's pretty deep group, and they all can have a role and help this football team. They've competed, and we have multiple backs right now that can play for us.
As a coach, what's the value of bringing back guys who are now in the NFL, alums back to the program, and honoring them before the game started?
Yeah, that was excellent. I mean, to have Mike Caliendo and Sky Moore come back after just winning the Super Bowl, they played in the last game, shortened off season, and all the things going on with the Super Bowl parade and all the things that come with it. I mean, I was so thankful for those guys to come back. Specifically, all of our former players, I'm thankful that they came back, and we want to continue to have more and get these guys around our current team because those are role models for our current players, and they are part of what's built this place and laid the foundation. And what makes it special is the history and tradition and the people who come before you. So it was excellent having him back. We had Babin as the defensive captain, so it was great seeing him. But again, to have two guys who just won the Super Bowl come back was pretty special.
Just seeing guys, work towards a day like today. All the hard practices, everything they put into it. What did you really see from them? Just, I guess, maybe their level of excitement of just wanting to come out and want to really just get out and compete on a day like today.
Yeah, I think they did a great job with that, and I challenged them, yesterday, but really even starting in the week that this is game day. Today was going to be game day. Treat it, prepare like it's game day, mentally, physically, emotionally, and this is a test run, right? I mean, you don't get many opportunities of what feels like when you run out of the tunnel and you have some of that nervous energy, and what are the habits that you're going to build that lead up to game time that allow you to play well. And so I think, this was one step. I think some of the penalties and some of the things that you saw early on, guys were a little too amped up, which happens, and we've got to continue to play. That's what happens on Saturdays. That's what happens on game day. So I think this was a good test run, dress rehearsal for them. So really proud of the way that they came out and competed.
Having a guy like Tate Hallett come over from Michigan State, got a lot of minutes in today, just the experience he has from playing at MSU, how much of a difference do you think that will make for your program coming up this fall?
Yeah, Tate is a guy who has done an excellent job. He, was limited early in spring practice because of a previous injury and surgery. And so he's worked really hard in recovery and rehab and pushing himself where he has worked back in the last week and a half. It's been great to see him on the field and be able to evaluate what he can do. I love his attitude and his leadership. He was a guy that came from Michigan State and, came in and really just wanted to be a Bronco and wanted to fit in and find his role. And so I appreciate what he's done. And we've had several guys who have done that, who are stepping up. And that's one of the challenges that we have. We've got a young group, young team, inexperienced team. How do we create more leadership and accountability from within?
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, Sean, just how did it feel to be back out there?
Feels great. Love the team. Love everybody out there. Feels great running around with my boys.
Change your number from 93 to 99. What kind of led to that?
Honestly, I always wanted 99, just because J.J. Watt. Growing up, I had a couple friends that used to call me him back in high school. So now I finally get to get it.
What stood out to you from the defense? Obviously having Coach Espo back and a lot of the defensive staff back is a huge plus. But what have you seen out of that group throughout the spring?
Obviously, having them back is a great thing. So it's still all around the same defense. I think the best part about it is all of our young guys are all in. They're all like grasping the how everything works, and from play one to the end is like a big difference. So I like how they all are improving.
It's your first chance kind of seeing Coach Taylor in kind of a game day-like scenario. How do you think he's been doing so far, and what kind of coach has he been to you personally?
I really like him. He's very energetic. I love it. He gets everybody going. He's the same cat every day, always on everything, always making sure everybody's disciplined, on time, and holds everybody accountable. Is all you can ask for.
When you have so many guys on the defensive side coming back, especially that defensive front for you guys, just talk about that hunger, of maybe the season last year not going as well as you wanted it to, and just really want to come back with Coach Espo and, just prove a lot of other teams wrong.
Yeah, so what you said, can you repeat the first part?
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
said what?
A lot of you guys coming back and last season, finishing shy of a bowl game, and just really wanting to kind of prove other teams wrong.
Yeah. So for the first part, a lot of our guys are not coming back. Our whole starting defense is gone. But, like I said, it's a great opportunity for everybody that obviously didn't start last year to work for that starting spot, to prove they have what it takes to, have that hunger, that desire, which I think is great because it keeps that competition going. It's like none of the positions are set, so everybody's going to get to work for it, and it just makes everybody better because, iron sharpens iron.
Zaire, first play went really well for you.
Yeah, I got to finish in the end zone. Pretty good explosive run for the first play, but I got to finish in the end zone.
You're the old man of the running group there, running backs group. How has it been to now take a leadership role, and what have you seen out of your group?
as a young guy, I'm still 19, so as a young guy, actually being the vet out of the room, it's pretty exciting. I've learned from Sean Tyler, Ladarius, Jackson Kincaid when I first got here, so them guys paved the way for me, so they taught me a lot. So now I'm just passing it on to the young guys.
I know you can't get into specifics, and we played a pretty vanilla offense, but how has it been working with Coach Kosh so far?
Coach Kosh is a pretty unique guy. Like, the offense we're in is pretty explosive. Like, it's a lot of stuff that goes on to mess up defense with pretty much eye candy and stuff like that. Can't get into it too much, but it's a pretty explosive offense.